Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and that pesky Anthony Weiner laptop is back in the news. Now, does that mean that anything's going to be done? No, actually, that doesn't mean anything's going to be done whatsoever because all this information has already been brushed under the rug, underreported, and its ramifications never really truly told to the public. So, I've been covering this, and that's why I say there is no real new information for years now. And the Daily Mail is running this story based on this new book. They have a news source within, I believe it is the FBI, a lower level FBI agent who came across all of this stuff inside of the laptop. Now remember, there was already a deal set up. Once the NYPD found that Clinton and Huma Abedin had been using that and that their emails were on there, they contacted the FBI. The FBI didn't really want to do anything. And honestly, a deal was cut out. We're going to show you that later after we go over this. That those emails were never even going to be looked at. And they were going to be classified. So I want to reiterate that. And then we'll get to the Gateway Pundit and the NYPD saying they made a copy of it, et cetera, because that's the source, and that's one of the biggest problems out there with that claim is that's the only source for that information. And to date, after Anthony Weiner has already done crimes for his sexting, and it's much worse than that, we're going to get into it, sexting of a minor. It was beyond one minor. This one girl basically was the one that went to police on this and showed them messages she received to even get this going. I can't imagine what they actually found on that monster's laptop. But let's get into the new claims, if you will, because when they say 340,000 emails between Huma Abedin and her top aide and Hillary Clinton, there are some estimates of 650,000 and 700,000 emails in total. Stunned FBI agents who uncovered thousands of Hillary Clinton emails while examining Anthony Weiner's electronic devices for explicit messages with a 15-year-old girl described the discovery of an oh shit moment, a new book claims. A technician tasked with rifling through Weiner's iPad, iPhone, and laptop found 340,000 emails between Hillary Clinton and her top aide, Huma Abedin, Weiner's estranged wife, and many other HillaryClinton.com addresses. At an FBI briefing that week, one member of the team described the discovery of the Clintons' use of private email server as like dropping a bomb in the middle of the meeting. One agent was scared. I mean, that's probably the biggest revelation. That oh shit moment, there was actually an agent that was like, I don't want to touch this. I have a family. I like my life. Maybe I don't want to touch it. So this is all in deep state Trump, the FBI, and the rule of law. Now, this is the girl that, man, I don't want to read most of it because it's out of control. Other than the rape fantasies, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that he was doing with this. And the spin on it. Because remember, she goes to the Daily Mail, and let's scroll down to some of the actual sexting, right? This is, I'll let you read this stuff. But we're going to go down. He was T-Dog. T-Dog went by the name T-Dog. How this man is still not in prison is a testament to our injustice system, by the way. Sentenced to 18 months for this, and we're going to get into what exactly went down because it's a lot worse than just this girl. This is the only girl that wanted to step up to the plate. Okay? Let me be clear about that. And then it gets into the Strzok stuff. But down at the bottom, it talks about him with 22-year-old Sydney Leathers. Who cares? This is what he told a 15-year-old girl, okay? I would bust that tight, we're not going to read it, so hard and so often that you would leak and limp for a week. 18 months, this guy, 18 months, all right? That's what he served. Did he even serve 18? I think he might have gotten sentenced 24. He did 18, but he's certainly out of jail. He's now in the weed business. You see, again, they price it out for a guy like me who might want to get involved. right? Jason Burmis probably can't get involved because you need $250,000 to get involved, to just get your license. And if you get that license, they take $210,000. It might even be up to $215,000. That's just for medical, since it's only decriminalized in the state. But don't worry, guys like Anthony Weiner get the inside op on that and have no problem getting into that business. Despite the fact that when this broke, and it was the Daily Mail that got all that stuff, he said it was a hoax. Remember when he was hacked? He was hacked in the first one. It's a hoax in this one. And then he says this. And you guys can crap on the Daily Mail all you want. They're the ones that brought this out. All right? Pervert Weiner comes clean at last. This is when he admitted it, because he knew that he had actually produced CP on his laptop. We're going to get into that too, because those are a lot of the other allegations. And here's the thing. I'm not saying what he did was right, but a lot of people want to conflate that he was, I don't know, had a studio, et cetera, et cetera. More than likely, and I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but it's a lower possibility. More than likely, when he says this, he had sexting relationships with hundreds of women. This is not a woman. It's a 15-year-old girl. Hundreds of women whose ages span decades. So what does that mean to me? Well, that means, and it should mean to you, that out of those hundreds of women, do we have dozens of underage girls? Do we have dozens of underage girls? We may. And the production of CP would be as simple as him screenshotting whatever's going on. He had this girl dressing up in school outfits, okay? And when you read these initial ones, and again, props to them for doing this. This is the 2017, but again, it was before this that they broke it. This is when it's admitted. And you can see it right here. The government's evidence is that there were 2 sexually explicit Skype video chats, one on February 18, 2016, and one on February 23, 2016, an explicit exchange on Snapchat on March 9, 2016, a final explicit text exchange on March 10, 2016. So all of those would be the production of some kind of either photographs or in the video chats and Snapchat videos right there. And he probably saved those on his computer. Whatever you do on the internet, by the way, it's documented. It's there. It's somewhere. All right. It's in the digital ether. Okay. So you look at that, and right there is the admission. He produced this. How did this man do a minimal amount of time? I'll tell you how. He's connected. He's got money, and we ignore this. Me too. Me too movement. Let's not talk about the children. He said hundreds of women. Is this a woman? Was this a woman, Anthony? Was this girl a woman? Huh. Probably not. Probably not. Remember when this initially happened? That's when he was hacked. So when we get to the emails, I want everybody to understand. Those emails were 100% protected. FBI offered state a quid pro quo to keep Hillary email classification quiet. They didn't even look at them. Well, someone probably looked at them, but there was never a report that these were looked on. And you can read this yourself. All right? And it was in that initial 900-plus page IG report. I actually broke down videos for We Are Change on this subject matter. And here's another little excerpt. However, at least 18 classified emails sent from Abedin's account were found by the FBI on Weiner's laptop. And despite Stork's apparent claim, FBI officials later conceded they had not manually screened all of the nearly, ready? 700,000 emails on the laptop. But instead used computer technology to prioritize which emails to screen. What's that? That's a whitewash. That's a cover-up. And no one wants to talk about this stuff, okay? It is big news that just days before the presidential election, Hillary Clinton's personal lawyer pressured the top lawyer for the FBI on the infamous Weiner laptop emails. And look, Tom Fitton is not perfect, but he's been in the game for a long time, and he stood by 9/11 whistleblowers like Robert Wright and Barry Carmody and others. So, again, I may not agree with everything they do or their perspective, but it's all right here. This is the reality. Okay? This is in the New York Magazine. FBI admits that James Comey misled Congress about Huma Abedin's email habits. Of course they did. Of course they did. She's married to a serial pedophile. That's who she's married to. What kind of woman marries a serial pedophile? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself these questions, guys. And when we get to the Gateway Pundit, again, enough evidence on Weiner's laptop to convict everybody. They talked about how they were going to hold a press conference. People have now talked about, these veteran police officers who are dying by suicide in New York. I don't know what the truth is. But I suggest if anybody has these emails, now is the time to find a way to get them into the public. There would be no better time than right now to expose the levels of corruption that are out there. When we had the most high-profile prisoner of all time, American citizen of all time, with connections to multiple billionaires, multiple politicians, entertainment industry executives across the board, modeling agencies, you name it, the creme de la creme, and we can't keep him alive. He commits suicide after being on suicide watch just 2 weeks earlier. That should tell you how fucked we are. So, look, nobody gets out alive. If you have access to those, 350,000, 700,000 emails, if you've thrown them through a program to search for the MP4s, the MOVs, the MPEGs, the FLV files over the years, the JPEGs, please, someone has to put this information out. We have to put the nail in the coffin. The scumbag over my shoulder right now is walking around the fucking streets. Get ready to make millions, if not tens of millions of dollars in the marijuana industry through his cronies. He ain't going anywhere. A serial pedophile. Oh, drives me a little bit nuts, guys. I'm sorry I got a little emotional there, but I am a documentary filmmaker. If you're new to this channel, now's the time to thumbs this up, share it, join the Burmist Brigade, make sure to subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, but really just hit the star button. All my documentary films, Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, and New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture, free of charge, right here. Please go watch them, check them out. Again, please subscribe. Now's the time, 3 to 7 videos a day. I only did 2 the last couple of days, but we're going to crank quite a few out today. I can promise you that. And with that being said, I'm doing it with your help. $5, $10, $15. The link is in the description. No Patreon, no Subscribe Star, just real news that you're not hearing about. That's not broken down in a manner of sound bites to get you to fucking forget what's really going on in the world. And as always, guys, it's never been about left or right. It's always about right and wrong. And what I just discussed is very, very wrong. So I will see you guys on the flip side, and I love you.